I think the messages that come to me that are the ones that I can't decode are the ones that have just stayed with me. It's as if I don't know what to do with what I've been told, and I'm not acting on it, but it hasn't gone away. I've still got some sense of something that I need to face. And I know when this first started happening and I first started entering this alternative way of thinking and encountering the world, and I started meeting people. That's the frightening thing. I wasn't looking to meet people. I was encountering the internet as if it were an extension of a book that sort of generated its own content in real time. When I started understanding that there were people there, I had a psychotic break, and it was very frightening. And I spoke to my psychologist about it, and he said, "You just cannot believe that you are an interesting or valid enough person for people to actually want to interact with you. You believe that people have to be paid in order to interact with you." And I didn't know what to do with that when he said that, because that sounded like so pathetic. Am I that sort of pathetic person that I mean, people keep on telling me that I've had a very interesting life, that I'm an interesting person, that the things that I say are interesting, that I'm talented, that people say a lot of lovely things about me, things that I would say about them, and it's nice. Like, are they lying? Is that what I think about my friends, that they're liars? Well, no, obviously not. Obviously not. The thing is that I am behaving as if that is what I think. And so there is something fundamentally wrong with me. And this is not something that I'm saying to try and get sympathy or attention or play the victim, or I don't know what all the things are that people think that I'm doing. But the thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to alter this mindset of mine that has caused so much terrible, terrible heartache and pain in my life. I mean, part of not being a victim, part of learning to not be a victim, is to learn that you are jointly responsible for the abuse that you suffer. You create it. You create half of it, and half of it comes to you. And you got to stand a step into that space. And I've been doing it for about 30 years now, accepting that I danced the dance. I don't know what this acceptance of my responsibility is meant to do. I don't know how it's meant to help me cope with what is now as a result of my faulty way of perceiving how people interact with me. Instead of seeing things as suggestions and opportunities and offers of help, I see messages and suggestions and social media posts as criticisms and I don't know what the word is when you're in trouble, admonishments, and I hear people telling me that I'm stupid and embarrassing and I broke the code and I don't know how to behave, and I don't know. I don't know what I hear. You know, that's the words that I'm trying to make to try and express it. But what happens at the time is just these emotions that just come, this feeling of overwhelming shame at being in the presence of somebody who's talking to me and saying something really nice to me, like, if you do this, it could help you. Like playing the game of threads and souls. See, I tried to understand what the post meant about the number 5. I feel that it was a response to me making a video that mentioned 5. And then another post came that talked about 5. And it came at a time when I was thinking about what I need to do to structure my life. And then I was thinking, maybe I need to play the game. Maybe I need to play the game of knowing what day I'm on, knowing what the numbers are of the day, knowing what the meaning is, having a direction, having some structure. Maybe that's the thing, is that I read these things in books, but I don't put them into practice in my life. And now I'm listening to things that people say, as if people were books, but I still don't put the things into practice in my life. It's a really difficult and scary thing to try and process. However, I don't know if it's necessary for me to process it. I'm starting to think that if I stop responding to everything as if everything is a criticism, a rejection, and an abandonment, if I just stop engaging with those emotions, don't let those emotions into my conscious mind to alter my thought processes, and just try and analyze just the data that's coming to me. Just the data that's coming to me. Not through the algorithm of the internet, although there is that, but through the algorithm of life. This actual life is actually happening around me. Not just stories that people make up in books, or lies that people tell to try and get you into trouble. Why do people do that? Anyway, that's fine. It doesn't matter why. What matters is that there's a now. And what matters is that there's this amazing place called MintMe, with this strange new opportunity to create something out of nothing, to take an idea and put an idea into a space where it can be stored and interacted with in a random way for the rest of the life of the internet. However long that's going to be, and whatever that internet is going to turn into. You know, I think it was about 30 or 40 years ago that I encountered this story about people who were trying to go to live on other planets because Earth had become so contaminated by nuclear waste, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, and I think that the end of the story was, it's too expensive to go to other planets. We can't go to other planets. But guess what we discovered in our quest? We don't need to go anywhere. We can just build ourselves space stations all the way through space. We've got all of this space all around us. We can build in it. We can make ourselves our own planets. And that's like Mincemeat. Mincemeat is this place where you can build something. Something that's, I don't know what it is because it's space at the moment. What do I want my planet to look like? What do I want NFTs to look like? Why do I want to do them? No, we're not going to do why. We're just going to do what is. So yes. And it's interesting that things have come to me. Now I'm here in Mincemeat, and I'm firmly established in this idea of bobbing along, thanks to Otto. Thanks, Otto. I'm firmly established in this idea of Rat City, which, yeah, that's just my best. I have my motto of duck back and waddle on. I have so many things that I've collected, like all the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. And now I need to do it. Like when I visited my mom and we made jigsaw puzzles, now is the time. I need to take all these little pieces that I've collected and explored and experimented with and build a thing. And the wonderful thing is that other people are doing it. So I think my next step is to go and snoop around in other people's projects and try and find that message of the guy that wanted me to contact him on Discord, the dog swap guy, to try and practice something. I don't know what it is. Putting tokens on an exchange or something? I do not know what it is. I want to go and find out what it is. And do things. Figure it out. And build this jigsaw puzzle. So my first step, and the thing that started this morning, was that I started trying to make prompts, to make an NFT collection, to celebrate the real Minds Fest. I don't know what I'm involved in. I don't know what this countercultural movement is, but whatever it is, it's wonderful. Just standing here on the edges and peeping at it every now and then, and trying to alter the rhythms of my mind, to enter this phase of humanity that I think is so exciting and so full of promise and tools and opportunities and potentialities and space to build something, a planet, to build a planet. Anyway, yeah, okay, so, all right, well, today is the day. The day. This is when we go and we meet the cancer specialist and we get the results. So, it's going to be just another exercise in emotion regulation, because there's nothing special about this day. There's 8 billion people on this planet who don't know that I'm alive. And that's okay, because there's you guys that know that I'm alive, and you're worth more than 8 billion. So, but the point of view is that this is big, and it's not a big tragedy. This is just, I'm just part of all of them. So we're just going to go and do what people do when they get sick. Going to go and find out the options, and then we won't have some great big emotional crash because we were expecting something. We'll just have life going on, doing things like normal people, breathing, just breathing. Yep, thanks Otto. Yep, okay. So, yeah, before we start having long pauses, I think I'm just going to get ready for the day and go and do the thing that needs to be done today, which is to deal with finding out what the reality is. Deal with finding out what the reality is? Yeah. And that's okay. That's okay. We can do reality. And then tomorrow we'll come back and the sun will come up. And I'll sit here. And then we'll do the next thing. But for today, we're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing facing reality and building a planet. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good duality for me to exist within today. Thank you, Roger, for bringing those words into my life. Yeah, it's good for me to be able to speak about duality. It's good for me to be able to see that duality is apart and separate at the same time. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah. I've got to focus now and I've got to go and do the things. And it's good to catch up, and thanks for being there. Thanks for letting me talk to you. And yeah, looking forward to catching up later on. And when I get the news, I'll tell you the news. Okay, hope you have a great day and that everything goes well in your neck of the woods. And yep, that's it. Bye guys. Thanks. Bye.